So this is a fundamental misunderstanding on how evolution by natural selection works. Cells don't know how to do anything, so they don't know how to evolve. They are just chemical machinery. They have a list of chemical instructions that they follow to do stuff. And that stuff, for the most part, is stay alive and make more cells. Now, when a cell replicates, there is always a chance that those instructions can change. And it's for a lot of different reasons. The universe is infinitely complex, and there are a lot of different reasons that the DNA inside a cell could randomly change. And most of the time, this does nothing. And the small percentage of times where changing DNA does do something, then usually it's not beneficial. In which case, the cell just dies. But in an even smaller subset of times where changing DNA does something, it's actually beneficial. And if it's beneficial, then that cell is more likely to survive. It's more likely to survive because whatever happened was beneficial. And if it survives, it's more likely to reproduce, which means that we will see that change in DNA more often. So a cell doesn't have to know how to evolve. It's just, if a cell randomly ends up getting a beneficial evolution, then it will survive better than its competitors. And if it survives better than its competitors, its copies carry on its genetic code into the future. Evolution is an unguided process. And we have seen it in the lab. We have ran experiments with bacteria where we have introduced a threat to that bacteria that kills off most of them, and only a few survive. And then we see that those that survive carry on their genetics. So if we introduce something that kills them again, the whole colony becomes more resistant. And so we can see the evolution of these bacteria in real time. We see their genetic code change and slowly overcome the threats that are introduced to them. There's nothing intelligent about it. It's just that the ones that survived, and the ones that didn't. And the ones that survived ended up reproducing until the genetic code of the colony was very similar to the ones that survived. And the same thing goes for multicellular organisms too. Every time a new organism is born, there's a chance that it will be more suited to its environment than any other organism. Those organisms end up outcompeting and outbreeding, and thus their genetics get passed down from generation to generation. It's all about being the most fit to reproduce. So what I'm saying is evolution is scientifically just the no bitches meme.